Hello, this is Sergeant Ray Poole, Media Services Officer for Central Indiana. Welcome to the Cable Show and thank you for watching. Today we're going to talk about the World Police and Fire Games that will be taking place here in June of 2001. And we have lots of information for people that want to volunteer, and we also have information that people that want to participate in the games themselves. The information is great and I'm looking forward to hearing it. Thank you and stay tuned.
The crayon box that talked. While walking in a toy store the day before today, I overheard a crayon box with many things to say.
I don't like red, said Yellow, and Green said, nor do I. And no one here likes orange, but no one knows just why.
We are a box of crayons that doesn't get along,
said Blue to all the others.
Something here is wrong. Well, I bought that box of crayons and took it home with me and laid out all the colors so the crayons could all see. They watched me as I colored, with red and blue and green and black and white and orange and every color in between. They watched as green became the grass and blue became the sky. The yellow sun was shining bright on white clouds drifting by. Colors changing as they touched, becoming something new. They watched me as I colored. They watched till I was through. And when I'd finally finished, I began to walk away. And as I did, the crayon box had something more to say.
I do like red, said Yellow, and Green said, so do I.
And Blue, you were terrific so high up in the sky.
We are a box of crayons, each one of us unique.
But when we get together,
the picture is complete.
Some of the world's best trained athletes test their skills beyond the confines of the track, or the course, or the pool. They are the police officers and firefighters who push their bodies to the limit every day, saving lives, serving others. The World Police and Fire Games bring together police officers and firefighters from 50 countries for some of the toughest athletic competition on the planet. And in 2001, this spectacular event is coming to Indianapolis, Indiana.
Welcome back to the show. Today I'm fortunate enough to be talking with two gentlemen that are involved with the World Police and Fire Games in 2001. I have Rick Littner and Tom Noonan, and welcome both of you to the show.
Thank you.
I'm excited about what's going to happen here in Central Indiana in a couple years, and I know you guys are. And Rick, I realize that you've been involved with the World Police and Fire Games in the past. Welcome once again, and tell me, what are the games?
The games are an Olympic-style sporting event. They're held every 2 years throughout the world. And in 2001, they're in Indianapolis. And what is, it's Olympic-style events. There's 70 sports and over 350 events.
So you're talking major athletes that are coming here to Central Indiana.
This will be the largest World Police and Fire Games ever, and we'll have 10,000 plus police and firemen.
So, and that's why we're here today. We're going to need lots of volunteers, not only law enforcement and fire department personnel, but we're talking volunteers from every walks of life.
Definitely, we're going to need the community to really come together for this.
How'd you get involved with the games?
2 years ago, I participated in Calgary, and I bench press. That's the sport I sort of zoned in on there.
Okay.
And just as policemen and firemen, we have to stay in shape to do our jobs, and that for me to stay in shape, I weightlift.
And this is something that you've had an interest in for years, and all of a sudden you had the kind of stage to kind of participate in now.
Yes, sir. That's it. And I can't express what for the people to come watch these events. It's just marvelous. The competition is unbelievable.
I was also told by some officers that I worked with that the feeling that you feel like you were like a world-class athlete.
Oh, it's amazing, because there are world-class athletes that actually participate. There are some police and firemen throughout the world that have set national and world records.
And that's pretty amazing in itself, and that talks of the caliber of people that, you know, are firefighters and police officers. And not only are we talking people from Central Indiana and the United States, we're talking people from around the world that will be coming here.
Oh, it's amazing. For instance, I participated in last July in Stockholm, Sweden, and it came down to between me and a police officer from Japan to win the gold medal in the bench press, and I got lucky.
But that's got to be an awesome feeling, though, like you said, because you've trained so many years, and I mean, plus, you know, the dedication that you have to your fire department for Indianapolis Fire and the community itself, and then you still have time to work out and keep yourself toned and fit.
Oh, it was. It's hard to believe, but it was so overwhelming. It was very emotional for do this. And in Calgary, I didn't fare very well, and I made up my mind to work out for 2 years to train for Stockholm and to succeed there.
Now, who can participate in these games?
It's open to any full-time professional firefighter or law enforcement officer.
And do you have to be world-class athletes, or can a guy or a girl that's working for the fire department just start training and get prepared?
If they start training now, I'll say that you must train. I went in and competed in another event in Calgary, and I got blown away there because I didn't train as hard, because I thought, oh, this would be easy, but there was no easy event. But for every law enforcement or police officer out there, there's 70 different sporting events. We're talking from weightlifting to running to rifle, triathlons, bicycles, darts, billiards, you name it. There's something for every law enforcement or police officer out there to participate with. And
so you're not talking just physical athletes, I mean, but you're also talking non-traditional sports, like you said, mentioned darts and billiards and different things, table tennis maybe?
Yes, but you have to train. I mean, that's a must. You're just not going to be able to come in because you'll sort of get embarrassed.
and that's something that, you know, I halfway consider participating in, you know, getting up a team and wanting to participate like softball or basketball team, but, you know, I still have a couple years to train and get my body in shape for it, so maybe that's something I'll think about in the future.
And like I say about that, the competition, like I said, was very intense. I went and saw the LA Police Department played a team from Connecticut, and it was all-out war. I mean, these guys were, you thought the competition was unbelievable. It was a heck of a game.
So it sounds like the games are nothing but, they're fun, but also they're out for winning that gold medal. So with that information in hand, I thank Rick, and we're going to talk back with Tom Noonan on some more information on how you can volunteer for these World Police and Fire Games, and we'll be back in a minute.
I'm Troy Noel. I was married to Brad Noel, the singer of Sublime. Brad died of a heroin overdose. Jake's been robbed of having a wonderful person to be his father. Educate yourself. Heroin kills, period. We miss him, and we'll miss him forever, and don't let anyone miss you.
Excuse me. Hey, listen, you might not realize it, but you're about to enter the no zone. It's the blind spot around that truck where the driver can't see you. Crashes happen when cars stay in the no zone, so don't stay in it. Drive smart. Don't hang out in the no zone.
This is your brain. This is heroin. This is what happens to your brain after snorting heroin. And this is what your body goes through. It's not over yet. This is what your family goes through. And your friends, and your money, and your job, and your self-respect, and your future. Any questions?
Thank you for staying with us and watching the cable show. Talking back with Rick again on some of the tradition that you feel that is taking place with these games. You were mentioning up in Calgary the first time you went to the World Games. Can you describe that?
It's before you go in, it's a Calgary Stampede Stadium where the football team plays. For people, that's probably twice the size of IU's stadium. and everybody, all the athletes are lined up outside in their traditional wear from whatever country, whether from Finland or Russia or Greece, and they all get their music playing and stuff like that, and everybody's really getting into it. But it was so awesome when you walk inside the stadium, and every seat in the stadium is taken. It's just the marching in like the Olympic event. And I thought, well, that's pretty neat. That can't be topped. But then we went over to Stockholm, and we marched in to where they held the Olympic event where Jim Thorpe set his records. And you know, you're sitting there going, wow, this is unbelievable that this type caliber was actually on this track where we're walking now. So much tradition.
It's tradition, plus it's probably overwhelming, and to a point you feel, wow, this is almost like the Olympics, the opening ceremonies. You feel really compelled, you know, get emotional. You feel like you're representing your country.
Oh, it was really neat. The King of Sweden was there. I mean, this is a big deal. Yeah.
So people, when they come, people watching when it comes here, we're really pretty fortunate to have these games here, because it's going to be an event probably rival to the Pan Am Games that we had a few years, about 10 years ago now, 12 years ago. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. Now, we were talking about cost to get into these events. Tom, could you talk about that a little bit?
Well, there will be no cost, no admissions for any of the games, any of the competition. There might be a slight charge. It'd be a token charge for the opening ceremonies and the closing ceremonies. So yet to be determined.
So what you're saying is people are going to get an opportunity to see good athletes in good competition, and we're going to see police and firefighters in a whole different light that they've never seen before, besides on our chosen careers. And you're saying that people can see this for free?
That's correct.
That's really not a bad ticket then.
Oh, no.
And, you know, the events, we were talking earlier, they're going to be held throughout central Indiana and other places throughout the state?
There will be 32 different sports venues conducting the 70 different sports in the primarily central Indiana area, the surrounding counties.
So what you're saying, you're probably needing lots of people to volunteer for this.
Yes. We project we need 5,000 volunteers, and it's going to take every bit of 5,000, because it's when one gets into this, the complexity and the scope of these games. It's as a benchmark, using the Pan Am Games, there'll be twice the number of athletes. We had 4,500 athletes at the Pan Am Games. Here we'll have 10,000. Where we had 28 sports, we'll have 70. And where we had 2 languages spoken, we'll have 38 different languages, which brings a few wrinkles and some unique volunteer needs in.
So you're asking people that have all language skills, not just Hispanic skills, Spanish, you're talking all languages. We need volunteers for those type of people.
Sure do.
I remember back, because I was on the department when the Pan Am Games were here, I remember escorting buses to Michigan City for some different types of events, I think rowing events up that way.
Right.
And so you're talking central Indiana, northern Indiana, and possibly southern Indiana too.
That's true. Camp Atterbury's involved, so they'll be down to there.
So we need people all over the state willing to volunteer about 10 days of their time in 2001?
That's correct. It'd be the 10-day segment there, and actually we need 2 generations of volunteers. We're going to need those who working with us in the pre-games and in management capacity, as well as those who want to concentrate just on the game times operations.
And with that, we'll take a commercial break, but we'll give the information where they can contact you or by telephone or the New Wave by email or the internet, and we'll be back with you in a few seconds.
When you see the lights, slow down, move over. It's the law. Give our emergency personnel room to work. It's time we all shoulder the responsibility for their safety. This message brought to you by the Indiana State Police. Please drive responsibly.
Less crime is no accident. Programs like mentoring, job training, counseling, along with after-school activities are keeping kids away from crime and crime away from kids. Look around. You'll see that kids involved in these kinds of programs are kids who are staying out of trouble. It takes you and programs that work. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT and we'll send you a free booklet. Call now and help take a bite out of crime.
Some of the world's best trained athletes test their skills beyond the confines of the track, or the course, or the pool. They are the police officers and firefighters who push their bodies to the limit every day, saving lives, serving others. The World Police and Fire Games bring together police officers and firefighters from 50 countries for some of the toughest athletic competition on the planet. And in 2001, this spectacular event is coming to Indianapolis, Indiana.
Welcome back to the show, and thanks for watching. I want to reintroduce Rick Littner with the Indianapolis Fire Department and Tom Noonan, a local businessman from the Indianapolis area. We were talking about volunteerism, and we're talking about the 2001 World Police Games, and we want people to volunteer in central Indiana and perhaps all over the state. What we're talking about is who should volunteer. What type of people do we need to volunteer?
Almost literally anybody could volunteer. Seniors, friends and family of police and firemen, civic organizations, college students, anybody who's got any interest can volunteer, and there'll be something for them. We'll be able to match up anybody's background, anybody's interests, or even going a step further, maybe there's something they've always been interested in and want to do. I bet we can find that for them.
And like I was talking to you earlier, when we first met, I said you were a volunteer from the ranks, and to kind of steal your term, and because you're not a firefighter or a policeman, but you're just a local businessman that wants to volunteer your time to help out.
That's true. I've had experience doing some of the past things with Indiana Sports Corp, the National Sports Festival, Pan Am Games, and I've enjoyed that experience, and I'm enjoying this experience. But in that regard, I didn't know about this games. I'm learning it and its scope and its magnitude and its complexity, and it's neat.
Like I said, I'm very excited about the games coming too, and it seems like it's going to be something that it's going to be something to cherish, in your memory bank for years to come. What type of opportunities are available for volunteers? I know that you need photographers and clerical people, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh, it is. I'm in human resources. We're trying to the obvious thing comes about is recruitment, but then we're involved in uniforms, because we learned in Stockholm we need to identify our volunteers better. We're not reinventing the wheel, we're learning from the previous games here. And we're involved with the recognition dinner, and I'll be helping write the orientation handbook. There's a lot of aspects to each of the operations. There's going to be a lot of data entry, clerical, like I said, photographers, medical, people who enjoy working with sports, working with people. There's just, like I say, we can match any background with any interest and plug them in.
Now, is there a certain age that you're looking for, age group of people, or is there a minimum age?
Well,
or maximum?
there is. There's a liability insurance consideration. We asked 16 years old or above. There could be some exceptions if a school group worked as a group, that they could go under the age of 16. That's why we sort of say college age on up, including seniors.
Speaking of the young people, because that's where I'm near and dear to, the young people of central Indiana, and trying to, build a solid foundation for those folks. Is this something that they can use in the future, skills that they learn now? Is this something that they can take along with them or use as a resume or something to help them get further into life?
Well, I think participation in this, there's sufficient challenge and complexity that this would fit nicely on any resume that they had this experience. It certainly is an adding.
I think it would too. They get to interact with different folks, firefighters and police officers, and not only just that in itself is something pretty exciting, because not many people see us, they see us in a whole different light. They see us in an emergency situation, but now they're seeing us, actively participating in things in the community and being involved. And I think that, and sometimes they're going to walk, when it sounds like you're going to be working hand in hand with some people from those fields, people in the civilian world. So this is something that I think is going to be pretty exciting. Quickly, why should people volunteer?
Well, I'd say two reasons. Quick background, whenever I go in my business travels, I say I'm from Indianapolis, universally the reaction is, boy, it's a fun, vibrant city. Well, that doesn't just happen. We just can't sit on our haunches and let Lilly Endowment write out the checks. It takes some sweat equity, and I feel that for me, I want to give back. I love my community. I want to give back to it, and this is the number two reason. Number one reason is that no matter people are going to really have fun and enjoy it and have a lifelong memory. I don't care how long people lived in this area, what their background is, who they are. If they come here, they're going to walk away with a new circle of friends and a lifelong memories that they'll always cherish. And that's a guarantee. It's happened to me over the years, and it will happen for them.
And saying that, I truly believe you're absolutely right. I'm excited about it. I know you guys are excited to be participating in these games in one way or another, as an athlete, as a volunteer. And I'm hoping that these games will, put Indianapolis in another light that nobody's ever seen before. We have some information at the end of the show where people can contact you guys, and phone numbers and different things and websites, and we'll put that up at the screen when we're complete with the show. And with that, we'll be back in a few minutes.
Where have all the children gone? Long time passing.
Where have all the children gone? Long time ago.
Where have all the children gone? Gone to graveyards one by one.
Oh, when will we ever learn?
Oh, when will we ever learn?
Every day, 10 children are killed by gunfire. The killing won't stop unless you help stop it. Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT to find out what you can do. Not one more lost life, not one more grieving family, not one more.
Oh, when will we ever learn?
It's always someone else's kid who smokes marijuana. Someone else's kid who's messing up in school. Someone else's kid who's having trouble at home. But what happens when someone else's kid meets your kid? Talk to your kids about marijuana before someone else does.
Thank you for joining the show once again. I'm here with Rick and Tom, and we're going to kind of wrap up today's segment with volunteerism for the World Police and Fire Games in 2001. Like I said, we're all on the same page. We're all pretty excited about this happening, and I'm sure people in the community and all the workers that are already in place as far as volunteers. And I know I've talked to some of the athletes that I work with, and they're already talking about this game and the one I guess is coming up in Florida sometime.
Oh, they're having a police and fire games. I believe it's this summer. It's just like a southeastern type games.
Yeah, I heard about that, but it probably won't meet the magnitude of our games.
Oh, it won't even. No, not even close.
Can you tell me what type of community spirit this will bring?
I hope that all the Hoosiers come out and show their Hoosier hospitality to the rest of the world. The exposure that Indianapolis is going to get will reconfirm that we're the amateur sports capital of the world.
And I was thinking, like, again, once back to the Pan Am Games, and that just took those games focus upon, the United States, the Americas, basically. Now we're going to have the whole world here. People coming from all over the place to see our Hoosier hospitality. So that's kind of neat to see.
Oh, they'll have a blast. You'll be able to meet police and firemen from all over the world. Like now, I correspond with a guy that I met, a weightlifter from Great Britain. You meet some great friends, and hopefully the community will meet some people and be able to correspond maybe with them.
I realized it happened some time ago, like at Pan Am Games, but I remember people were trading trinkets back and forth with people from across the nation. I mean, just like in the Americas. Well, does that happen, in the World Games?
Oh, that's one of the bigger nights. Is that they have a trade show goes on at the same time too, but between the pins and the sporting apparel, T-shirts, sweatsuits, whatever you go with, you won't come home with because you'll have somebody else's.
Well, that's kind of a neat experience that even the young people that, like trading and collecting and saving, that's going to be something that they can really get into also.
Oh, this will whet their fancy. It will. They'll have a good time there.
And we were talking about the applications for the athletes. This is something that each athlete can pick up somewhere, and we'll have the address and the phone numbers later on.
Yes.
Maybe Tom could touch upon that.
Right.
Tom, we were talking about the economic impact on how this is going to happen for Indiana and Indianapolis itself.
Yeah, the businessman in me says it's bringing upwards of $50 million into our local economy. A specific, it hit me, we've got 2 new hotels being built downtown, Adams Mark, and I forget the other, the Marriott or Major, and we booked both of them for the month of June 2001, plus all the other hotels. So people in the community better realize if they're inviting anybody to visit them June of 2001, they better like them because they're staying with them.
They won't have a place to
public
stay.
lodging, but it's a real boon to our economy, and it's going to further the tourism impact for our community too.
Now, we were talking about the venues that are going to take place with these games are going to take place. Are you talking Conseco Fieldhouse, the Dome, and different places like that, or are all of the venues located around Central Indiana?
All of those. We're going to involve all those. Eagle Creek's going to be key. Obviously, the convention center downtown is going to house many, and outlying areas too.
I think that'll be it's going to be like a neat event that's going to happen. It's going to be really, it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, you might want to mention where people can pick the volunteer application up.
Well, there's volunteer applications available at any of the Marion County police stations and the state police posts throughout the state, and they can call 327-2001. It seems to be a common theme in all of our correspondence. Area code 317-327-2001 for an application for any information. On the website, we have a website that is updated regularly, www.200wpfg.org, not .com, .org.
.org. That will be posted up on the screen at the end of the show to make sure all our viewers have a chance to copy those numbers down. I want to thank both of you guys for being here today. It's been a pleasure meeting you and talking with you. I've gained a lot of information today, a lot of knowledge, and hopefully I can pass some of it on to my friends and colleagues. It's going to be a real neat event coming up in a couple years. I myself would love to start training for one of these events that are coming up. I think it's going to be tough listening to what you're saying, Rick, and hopefully, if I put a team together, a softball team or whatever, we can be halfway competitive. Once again, volunteerism is the way to go, and hopefully we can get a lot of people to turn out, show people around the world our Hoosier hospitality. And once again, this is Sergeant Ray Poole signing off for this show. And remember, the life you save can be your own. Wear seatbelts. Take care. Goodbye.